still coming, to enable them to come safely so that they join us as we are continuing to get the message. We pray for our speakers who are going to deliver the message today, that you enable them to give us all the information that they are prepared for us. And we pray that we also have open minds to be able to listen to the new ideas, to the knowledge, to everything that they are going to deliver to us today. And we pray that this day becomes a success as we have prepared it. We have prayed all this through in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor or Prophetess Jovia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I request you to stand up and honor our geographical assets. Please, IT team. Msingi wa umoja wetu na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu. Thank you. Those who wish to keep standing, you may stand. Those who want to sit can stand. It's yeah, either way you keep standing. Yeah, thank you very much. By the way, I noted, if you remember the lead vocalist in the Uganda National Anthem, she's actually in this room. And I know her. If you want to know her, contact me. I'll give you the contact. Now, two things I want us to remember throughout this conference. Always ensure that your tag is scanned if you care about CPD hours. If you don't, it's also okay. The other one is ensure that you eat all the food put before you because you have paid for it. And we don't want you to have spent money for nothing. This conference is highly IT based. I'm at this moment going to invite our IT desk to come and take us through some of the best IT things we are going to be using for the conference. CPA to B, Zachary Mugisha, come and guide us through.
Thank you, Director of the Ceremonies. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. It's not IT, it's more of the webs. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to briefly take you through how you can engage with us throughout this conference, starting with how you get to ask your Q&As. I want you to scan this logo, this QR code. When you scan this QR code, you are going to be able to ask questions to the presenters, but also you'll be participating in the polls for each presentation that will be happening up here. Please, I request that you do use Slido for all your questions. Keep them precise, and whenever you're asking, please make sure you add your name so you are not asking as anonymous. There are two ways to get to Slido. You can either go to www.slido.com and then you put the hashtag 3ICPAUPFMconf, or you can just scan this. This is the easiest way. Please scan this logo right now before we move to the next part. I'll give you a few seconds. Also, this includes the members that are joining us online, those that are following on Zoom. Please do scan this code on your laptops or your screens. Sorry about that. View all scanned. I want to move to the next point. Next, we really want you to join the conversations online. This is mostly Twitter. For those of you who are on Twitter or X, as it's currently called, please use this hashtag 3ICPAUPFMconf to share your feedback with us, to share details with us, to also be part of the conversations from the presentations that are going up here. Please just use this hashtag on Twitter. This hashtag is also active on LinkedIn, it's active on YouTube, as well as Instagram and Facebook. Next, we want you to update your members' information. And also this code, I'm going to leave it for a moment. We want you to give us your current email addresses, your current mobile numbers, so whenever we are sending you ICPA information, we are able to reach out to you in due time. Please do scan this code and update your members' information. I'll also give you a few seconds to do this. This also applies to those that are joining us online. All right. And finally, we want you to continuously receive the latest updates and information from the Institute. We know we always get to you via your emails, but I want you to scan this code. And when you scan this code, you'll be able to see all our active social media platforms, all our active digital platforms, including the social media platforms, including YouTube, but most importantly, as well as our WhatsApp channel, where we share key updates every now and then. Please do follow us. I'll give you a moment to again scan this code to make sure that you're able to get all those links to all these active social media platforms. All right, and that's it. Thank you, and I wish you a successful conference. Good morning.
Thank you, Zachary. Perhaps what he forgot to tell you, that you need to first have data on your device. Some of you have scanned and things didn't work out. Maybe you need to add a few MBs. Yes. Finally, I want to, this one I'm going to tell you in a whisper. All of you who have been intending to do some things which NIRA does, start launching your manifestos now. By Friday, you never know, you may be going through one of these. I know some of you have been scheming and failing to have a breakthrough. Now, NIRA is here. What are you waiting for? Now, my remaining duty here is to hand you over to people higher than me, and whose shoelaces I'm not even competent enough to tie. Fortunately, the person I'm handing you over, her shoes don't have laces, so I'm okay. I want to hand you over to the session chair, a person of many titles, but I will start with my own. CPA, Professor Laura Orobia, pastor, mentor, teacher. Add yours. Professor Laura, please come and get us moving.
Thank you, David. A very good morning to you all. It's really a privilege to stand before you this morning. I'm very excited. You are all very welcome to the third Public Finance Management Conference. We are excited, and there is a lot. If you have the program with you, you'll see that we have a lot for you. And I'm praying that you do not go back the same way you came. All right, without wasting time, we have, if you have the program, page 23, we have the CEO's welcome remarks. Our CEO, who is our CEO? For the benefit of our CEO, the CEO of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda is none other than CPA Derek Nkaja. He's also the treasurer for the Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union, apex body for SACCOs in Uganda. He is a non-executive director of CIC Africa Uganda Limited. He serves on the board of Mengo Hospital. He also serves as a member of the trade committee of the Public the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda. Previously, CPA Nkaja served as a member of the Compliance Advisory Panel of the International Federation of Accountants representing Africa. And he also represented East Africa on the board of the Pan-African Federation of Accountants. Members, I could say a lot about CEO Derek Nkaja, but allow me stop with his lengthy CV at this moment. Please join me in welcoming CEO Derek to give his opening remarks. Welcome remarks.
CPA Derek Nkaja is the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. He is a treasurer for the Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union, apex body for SACCOs in Uganda, and a non-executive director of CIC Africa Uganda Limited. He serves on the board of Mengo Hospital Investment Uganda Limited. He also serves as a member of the Trade Committee of the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda and the Finance Committee of the Institute of Corporate Governance of Uganda. Previously, CPA Nkaja served as a member of the Compliance Advisory Panel of the International Federation of Accountants, representing Africa, and also represented Eastern Africa on the board of the Pan-African Federation of Accountants. He holds a Master of Business Administration from Edinburgh Business School, Heriot-Watt University, UK.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Session Chair, for the whole introduction. Our dear guests, our chief guest, Professor Nwagaba, our president, CPA Ronald Mutumba. The Act says in the absence of the president, the vice president is the president. So I think I'm in order. He's not vice president right now. He's president for now. Our distinguished CPAs, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am here to give welcome remarks, and usually I just want to speak from my heart because I am always excited to see you when you gather, and when you gather in large numbers, and when we mobilize ourselves to take our space. This PFM Management Conference is put in place to ensure that accountants educate each one of us, educate the citizens of Uganda, educate the accounting officers, educate the public, and even the president, the role of the accountancy profession in delivering services to our celebs, delivering services to the citizens of Uganda. So I welcome you this morning to the third Public Finance Management Conference. I'm excited that you'll share your thoughts. I'm excited that you will interact. The platforms that have been given by Zachary are for us to share the synergies and share out the processes and actions and plans or strategies that you think we should be undertaking as a country. We have a rapporteur who will be combining all our thought processes, and we believe that we shall draft, or we shall end into a policy paper, which we shall share with the relevant authorities. So feel free to share. Usage of platform helps you to be anonymous, because I know some of you serve in institutions where you do not want to say a word, but you know everything that needs to be done. So this is the forum where you can say and advise whatever you believe is important. So our theme is about public finance management system for sustainable service delivery. As the profession, we are strong enough. We are over 4,400 full members,
and I think we can serve the country well. There are others on the way coming, over 12,000 students and over 1,200 graduates. So the country cannot say there are no accountants to support the process of development. And we want to do whatever is possible. The Act puts us squarely into the activities of managing public finances, because it requires us to advise government on the way of managing economic resources. So with this forum, I hope that you'll be able to appreciate what we do. I invite you to read my page, the message on page 17. I will not read it, but I hope you will be able to do what is supposed to be done and advance the accountancy space within Uganda. I thank you and I welcome you to the third Public Finance Management Conference.
Thank you, CEO, for the welcome remarks. Friends, we go to the next item on our program, which is the ICPAU President's Address. And this is going to be delivered by the Vice President, CPA Ronald Mutumba. For some of you, you know him as the VP of Council. Yes, he's the VP of Council of ICPAU. He's also the Chair, Member Services Committee. Outside ICPAU functions, CPA Ronald Mutumba is a tax advisor, insolvency practitioner. He has mentored and taught very many CPAs in the house. We are so proud of him, offering services to enable the future of our various businesses. CPA Mutumba is a practitioner, and you'll find him at Mutumba, Mukove, and Associates CPA. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together as we welcome CPA Ronald to give the President's address.
Thanks, Prof, for the complimentary intros. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, once more. Our keynote speaker, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, members of ICPA Council, members of the committees of the ICPAU Council, speakers, ICPAU previous presidents. I'm trying to avoid the word that might soon also be used for me of being a past leader. So we will not go with the term my president Constant and team. I hope President Egadu is here yet. CPAs and participants attending in person and online, media practitioners, ladies and gentlemen, a good morning to you all once more, and welcome to the third Public Finance Management Conference of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. We are deeply honored to address such a distinguished gathering of professionals and thought leaders dedicated to improving public financial governance in our country. And I am presenting this speech on behalf of our president, CPA Josephine Okwi Osia, who was unable to join us as she is out of their country on official business. May I take this opportunity to also welcome us back from the Easter holidays. It was a much needed break, I trust, as short as it was. And I believe many found it refreshing. But above all, I hope that we found time to reflect on the real meaning of Easter, which is the message of hope and renewal from the selfless death and resurrection of Jesus Christ and the unfolding of grace, therefore, and an opportunity to also do some soul seeking and ask ourselves what is the purpose of our lives at a personal level. And who do we reach out to commit to serve? Do we serve our self-interests only, or as a calling for us accountants, like we want to say, do we also serve in the public interest? On a somber note, we lost the Pope, the Bishop of Rome, and the supreme leader of the Roman Catholic Church. We commiserate with Christians around the world during these 9 days of mourning. And ladies and gentlemen, I request for half a minute of silence in honor of the Pope. May his soul rest in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, before I proceed with this address, I would like to also seize this opportunity on behalf of the Council of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda to congratulate our keynote speaker, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, upon your appointment as Deputy Governor of Bank of Uganda. And I kindly request the audience, let's please give him a round of applause. As a congratulation. Thank you. Congratulations to you, Professor. Please know that accountants appreciate you and that you have our full support in your execution of your duties. And also your chosen passion for being an economist. The Institute enjoys a cordial relationship with Bank of Uganda, and for several years, Professor, the Central Bank has supported the Institute in both financial and technical aspects. Bank of Uganda is also among the top institutions implementing the professionalization of its finance team, which we are very appreciative of. And we thus commend the Central Bank for your support towards the Institute and accountancy professions progress. And we look forward to continued partnership for the development of Uganda. And may I take this opportunity to also recognize the presence once more of our past leaders, both present physically and those online, including our past CEO, Mr. Gerald Kasanya. If they are in our midst, I kindly request them to stand up for those who are here physically for recognition. CPA, Constant and team, you are the most recent one. You are very most welcome. It's always an honor to have you amongst us. And please prepare for us a space for the next incoming team. About the PFM conference, Professor, in the wake of increasing demands for transparency, value for money, and citizen-responsive governance, our conference this year serves as a timely platform, we believe, for public sector leaders to reimagine Uganda's public financial management landscape. This is our third edition of this conference, and this forum convenes policymakers professionals and thought leaders to explore bold, forward-thinking strategies that address national priorities. Ultimately, we all deserve quality public goods and services delivered efficiently and sustainably. Whether it is well-equipped hospitals that we're talking about to reduce healthcare referral costs, whether we're talking about good roads to boost trade and connectivity, properly stocked schools that shape future generations, or robust security systems, we are all beneficiaries of an effective public financial management system. So it is our desire and intention that through this PFM conference, our ambition is to influence national policy development. We'd like to note that the resolutions from this conference are shared with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for consideration. And the Institute will provide an update on the resolution through this brief from last year's conference shortly. But to give you a recap from the second PFM conference, the conference explored a broad and impactful range of topics, including the power of artificial intelligence in public financial management, stakeholder involvement in public financial management, funding for the fight against HIV/AIDS, feedback on PFM audits from the Office of the Auditor General, amongst others. These discussions highlighted critical intersections between technology, governance, health, financing, and accountability within the public finance ecosystem. Key resolutions from the conference included the need for a government policy framework to guide stakeholder involvement in public service delivery and accountability, particularly at the municipal and local government levels. Reforms aimed at reducing inefficiencies and bureaucracies in the acquisition, utilization and disposal of public assets, and a strong call for both public and private resource mobilization strategies. Our theme this year, therefore, is Public Finance Management Systems for Sustainable Service Delivery. Emphasis is on the critical role that sound financial systems play in enabling effective and lasting service provision. The government of Uganda has made commendable strides in this area, particularly by implementing the integrated financial management system. These innovations in technology and governance aim at enhancing transparency, curbing financial mismanagement, and ensuring better oversight and accountability of public resources. So by advancing good governance and fiscal responsibility, we trust that Uganda can optimize its resources to drive sustainable development and elevate the welfare of all citizens. We trust that the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda has got a key role in supporting public financial management, and we remain committed to advancing strong and resilient public financial management systems in Uganda. In February this year, for example, we hosted the Public Finance Management Conference for Africa, organized by the Pan-Africa Federation of Accountants in collaboration and partnership with the African Union. 3 issues came out very strongly. First was the urgency for application of accrual accounting and international public sector accounting standards. Then for improvement, this is for improved accountability, transparency, and efficient resource allocation, essentially influencing prudent decision-making for effective service delivery. The other issue that came out strongly was the need for enhanced collaboration between the offices of the Accountants General, the Supreme Audit institutions, and professional accountancy organizations. Participants also agreed that Africa needs to amplify its voice in global standard setting by taking on responsibilities on global standards, boards, and actively responding to exposure drafts. During that conference, the International Public Sector Accountants Standard Board roundtable discussions were held, and Africa's perspectives on the exposure drafts on climate-related disclosures and natural resources were collected. We are pleased to report that ICPAU has also submitted a comment letter to the board, and the board is now analyzing these along with other written responses as input into developing sustainability reporting standards for the public sector. Professor, in addition to the PFM conference, the Institute continues to support PFM reform and progress through other initiatives, which including us having recently drafted comments on the valuation bill for 2024. We're also compiling comments on the tax amendment bills for 2025, which will be presented on the floor of Parliament by the chairperson of the Taxation and Economic Policy Panel of the Institute. And the Institute continues to build capacity for international public sector accounting standards implementation in Uganda by supporting the activities of a public sector working group and developing resources to guide the application of the standards. Our background in all of this is the definition of an accountant, and we're proud of the country's decision that the definition is enshrined in the law. An accountant is a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. Regarding governance, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to conclude this address with mixed feelings. On a personal note, and a direct message also from our president, this should have been her final address to you in her capacity as the president of ICPAU. Some opportunities don't happen by mistake, especially if you come from Namtumba. So it is also my final address to you in my capacity as the president of ICPAU, and most likely the last address at an event of this nature, except for the annual general meeting. For the record, I'm not praying for her absence during the annual general meeting. But as many of you might know, 2025 is an election year, and the council will be handing over the governance instruments in June this year. We have mixed feelings because we have surely enjoyed serving you, and we are pleased that we have delivered on our goals, and ushering in new leadership is a signal of institutional growth, sound systems, and commitment to best corporate governance. And on this note, may I request the council members in our presence to please stand up for recognition, and please let's applaud them. We have Engineer Seronjoji, CPA David Etiomo, and CPA Dr. Albert Otete in our presence today. And also CPA Professor Girlchild Robbie. Professor and ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the wonderful people offering leadership to the Institute since 2023. Thank you, council members. And still under governance, we are pleased to report that in January this year, the council approved the appointment of new members of committees who are serving from this year, 2025 to 2027. We would like to congratulate all those who were appointed to serve on the committees of council and to thank them for offering themselves to serve. We kindly request all members of committees of council in present here physically to kindly stand up for recognition. Committee members from wherever you're seated, thank you very much for committing to serve. While on the subject of governance, we would like to remind members that the accountants regulations 2024 were approved with some amendments to the rules governing the institute's elections. So all members, especially those who plan to vie for leadership positions on the institute's council, you are please encouraged to acquaint yourselves with these adjustments. The institute is also collecting feedback for amendments to the Accountants Act, and members, you are encouraged to provide input into this process so that we have a law which reflects the position and aspirations of members. As I conclude Her Excellency's speech, she wishes to extend her heartfelt appreciation, together with the Council, to our partners, the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, and please take heed of the message that NIRA has spelled out, especially CPA Daudi Serebe. I think the second and third areas that have always been of your concern. Post Bank and Electricity Regulatory Authority for their contributions towards the success of the PFM conference. The Institute is further grateful to the Ministry of Finance for their consistent support to the PFM conference. And ladies and gentlemen, the agenda of the conference is formed in consultation with the Ministry of Finance, and you will notice that a good number of speakers will therefore be from the ministry. So thank you very much, Ministry of Finance and all our partners. To all participants, thank you for embracing the PFM conference. Let us seize this opportunity to reaffirm our shared responsibility to transform public finance management. Let us be bold in generating innovative ideas, challenging the status quo, and pushing for systems that serve every Ugandan fairly and sustainably. And ladies and gentlemen, before I leave the podium, it is my distinct honor and privilege to officially invite our esteemed keynote speaker to address us. And I will have to give a brief intro, but I would kindly request the production team to play for us the professor's video profile first.
He's the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Uganda. He's also the Managing Consultant at Reeve Consult International Limited, a Ugandan-based private consultancy firm and an international consultant on economic transformation and wealth creation in Africa. He's known for his work in fiscal policy, public finance, and inclusive growth strategies. He has consulted for major institutions, including the African Peer Review Mechanism (NEPAD), the World Bank, and the East African Community. Notable roles include leading Uganda's FinScope Financial Penetration Project 2013, midterm review of Uganda's National Development Plan 2010 to 2014, and development of the EAC Development Investment Plan 2016 to 2020. He also developed training manuals for Uganda's parliamentary accountability committees and served on the audit committee of the Ministry of Finance. Professor Nwagaba is a recipient of the International Award for Significant Contribution to World Society. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Economics from Makerere University, focusing on inclusive growth and poverty eradication.
Thank you very much, production team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Professor Augustus Nwagaba, the Deputy Governor of Bank of Uganda, to address the third PFM conference. Please give him a welcome applause. You're most welcome.
We want to thank IGPAO for inviting us, obviously, as the central bank, and we don't want to take it for granted. We are very happy that you are able to invite us. And we also want to congratulate you for over 30 years, I hope, isn't it? I think very big congratulations to Ikipau, for existing. You know, in Uganda, it is not easy for people to exist for all that time. We start businesses and businesses don't celebrate their second birthday. About 60% celebrates the first birthday, 70% second birthday. By the end of 5 years, all businesses have vanished. We want to congratulate Ikipau for being impactful, ensuring that accountability and accounting profession is harnessed in Uganda. Very big congratulations. I also want to bring you greetings. I'm not new, we are not new to accounting. My own wife is an accountant, full ACCA. Not half, or 80%, full ACCA. She's Lillian. She's currently in Nairobi. We are evaluating IGAD, the entire IGAD investments in 13 countries. But she would have been here. She just arrived in Nairobi yesterday. And also we want to tell you that I've been a member of accounting profession. I've not been very far. I've been a member of audit committee of the Ministry of Finance. And I've worked with all ministers, starting with Honorable Saida Bumba through, I think, Maria Chuanuka I worked with Keith, I worked with everyone in the Ministry of Finance, trying to build the accounting profession together with the Auditor General to ensure that when the consolidated report comes to Parliament, especially to Public Accounts Committee, we have already scrutinized it. That's why you were seeing very few problems for that matter. If you are seeing problems, then we really have problems because most of the problems we would have worked on them. And still, if you saw them, then really we have problems. Then the third greeting is from the International Monetary Fund. I've been attending the high-level International Monetary Fund meeting in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, last week. And before we go very far, the major issue in that high-level meeting, the spring meeting is currently going on in Washington. It opened yesterday. The issue which came in Riyadh is the same issue yesterday which came on the floor in Washington. And this issue, before I go into much detail, is the issue of the failure for planning to link with implementation. I think let me repeat it in case I don't have enough time. We are failing to link plans with strategy. First of all, strategy at strategic level, at operational level, at tactical level, with the actual implementation. And accountants, let me repeat this, accountants, you are the anchor point on that matter. So I wanted that point to come very, very fast. So honorable members of Ikipau, distinguished guests and development partners who are here, we also have fellow professionals in the accounting profession. We are very happy to be invited here. And also want to thank you that Josephine Okuyas is a member of our board, who is your president. Thank you very much for picking Josephine. He's one of the most effective members and one of the most fine members of our board. Bank of Uganda, we are 7 members, 2 members as executive members, and then 5 members, non-executive members, of whose Josephine is member of Bank of Uganda. I think one of the finest members. Is our chairman of the finance committee of Bank of Uganda. We also have Gloria. I've also seen Gloria as your member here. Gloria is our member of staff in the Bank of Uganda. And we are very happy that you are able to pick this as some of our members. That's a vote of very serious confidence that you are doing very well. And therefore, we are not very far from you. So we want to greet you all and honored to be among this distinguished gathering for this 3rd Public Finance Management Conference. I'd like to commend the Institute for once again convening this important conference. This is the 3rd time you have done this, especially for professional accountants, to discuss their emerging issues which I want to bring to your attention. And this is very, very important for all members to know that we are moving forward to ensure that accountability, accountancy, accounting profession remains the anchor of development, especially implementation of programs. I'm also made to understand that the theme is public finance management system for sustainable service delivery. We can use this, thank you. Which is very important, especially given the current global economic environment. And you know that in Uganda we are aspiring to achieve 10-fold growth. I want all of you to know this. Our current GDP is $50.2 billion. We rebased it because of the oil investments in our Albertine region. It should have been about 46. It's currently 48.6. We rebased it to 50.2. We want to have 10-fold, and you have to know this. If you are going to have 10-fold from 50.2 currently, it means we must double every 5 years. And who is going to help us achieve this? It is really the accounting profession who should work with the planners, ourselves, to ensure that what we plan is implemented. If this is not achieved and that chain is broken, we cannot achieve anything there. We should be able to achieve that by 2040, and I believe that accounting professionals are well positioned to lead this process. Mr. Chairman, Professor Chairman, Stroke Chair Lady, and this one is my sister. I want to congratulate you. The key message which I have for you is, of course, to focus on providing essential services that meet present needs without compromising ability for the future generation. As you all know, now we are in the area of greening economy and greening accounting, so that when we are accounting, we also do resource accounting. And at the end of this address, I'm going to donate you a book, which I've written myself. The president launched it in Kwania when we were in Lira, and it was launched in a very big conference in Makerere University. And in this book, I will show you that on page 233 of that book, I have changed the teaching of economics as well. And I'll be proceeding to Davos World Economic Forum. I'm already on the program to ensure that we do resource accounting. You know, when you said, those who are, I think most of you are economists, if you say Uganda's GDP is 50.2, what do we mean in empirical terms? In the English language, what do we mean? We mean that y is equal to c plus I plus x minus m plus g, those who are in economics class. And this means that consumption, C plus investment, I, which is domestic absorption, plus X, capital X minus capital M, which is the one we call trade balance. This is why President Trump is that's why we are waiting for the Third World War. It's because of the X and the M, which President Trump is not willing to have $587 billion against 160. So a trade deficit of about $384 billion, which President Trump, and he's a genius. Some of you have been just dismissing him. This is not, he said this is not possible. Why? Because of the exports that are, in Uganda's case, is the same. Ours is 6 billion. We export products of 6.1 billion. We import products of 12. So we have a deficit of 6. In terms of Americans and China alone, that is 384 billion, which President Trump cannot accept. Those of you who may not understand where these trade tensions are coming from, and which the trade tariffs are coming from. And yesterday, this was a major opening thing at the IMF in Washington. So the X minus M, then plus G, G is government expenditure. Northern bypass, the fertility hospital, this money we are spending on hospitals and so on, and roads, we capture them under G in national accounting. But I'm saying, no, this is what this book is here. And it is launched already, I've registered it with the Uganda Administration Services Bureau. I've got property rights. So for that page, I've added, just listen. I've added that is now the accounting, the national accounting system. Those who are privileged to work with us on national accounting system should be Y is equal to C plus I plus X minus M plus G minus E. This is what I'm introducing in the entire teaching of economics globally. Why? Because of natural resource accounting. In other words, I want to remove carbon sequestration, the carbon cost, And the only country which is going to have a positive figure on here, I think it's Netherlands. Netherlands has done very, very well. I'm expecting China 21.1, United States now 29.4, to lose like 3, China will lose like 4. It is the highest loss. Uganda, we may not lose much. We are not having a lot of terrestrial or aquatic air pollution to remove a lot of carbon cost in that regard. But also we have a lot of global warming. So what is Professor saying is that the accounting system should change. We now green accounting. This is what I've said here in this conference. What has Professor said? This is what I've said here. That the accounting profession should change with us. For us, we are looking at greening the economy. We are looking at greening the environment. And the central bank is doing very, very well in this regard. The mantra for the central bank, when I reach on my desk in the central bank, what am I doing? You can ask that, because what is the governor's what is on the desk of the governor? What is on our desk as the governor's office? Is only 2 things. Price stability, to ensure that when you go to the shop, you will buy your bag of cement, 34,000, and you'll build your house in the next 10 years. And you can plan it properly. There is no change in prices. This is price stability. This is what we do in the central bank. Globally, that's the role of the central bank. Number 2 is sound financial system. When you go to commercial banks, the commercial banks are working. You present your check, it is honored. These are the 2 things which central banks do. Now, we are adding other ancillary services, auxiliary services, and we have things like payments, national payments. I'm going to explain it to them here, RTGS and IPS and so on. We also do payments, cross-border payments, and we are doing a lot of innovations, digital innovations in this regard. But I have said here that what we want is to ensure that the accountants green your process, so that when you account, you're also accounting for the natural resources, you're accounting for the terrestrial resources, those who didn't do geography classes, these are the things that appear on land, things like trees. Then you also do aquatic things which appear in water, things like fish. Then we do air, this is pollution, and so on. So account also for those. So if you are calculating now national accounts, you cannot tell me that the current GDP, which is 50.2 billion, American one is currently about 29, and so on, cannot be the same next year. Why? Because what caused that GDP to be that number definitely was depleted somehow. Just use English language. Was depleted somehow and cannot generate the same figure. Why? Because of the depletion of resources, because of the deleterious effect of the economic activity that you carried out. And because of that, Professor Nwagawa is proposing, and we have to agree. It is very hard sometimes to propose things which you have a lot of evidence and people don't agree. We have to agree that we need to account for those resources. That's what I wanted to bring to your attention. I know that the vision of our country includes, among others, improved planning, guiding budget cycles and sustainable procurement and disposal policies, development of financial systems and products, governance, risk management. However, the world is changing, which I want to bring to your attention. With the multiple shocks, we have a lot of shocks, which I want to bring to your attention. We have climate change, we have trade tensions, we have now tariff regimes, which Trump and Trumpism is imposing on us. You need to be aware of all of these and how they affect, therefore, the profession, and also how they affect your impact on our development process. You are not in accounting for the sake of accounting. That A is equal to that's it is equal to liability plus capital plus income minus expenditure. Income and minus expenditure bring it next to the next year to the balance sheet for next year, or the P&L. You are not doing that for the sake of doing that. In case some of you are just doing that for the sake, you are doing that to ensure that if profitability is made, then it is reinvested in areas, especially priority areas, which can help us especially transform the economy, transform that business. For us, we are interested in the businesses that are going to transform the livelihoods of the people. Not that companies have made profits which are not linked with our national priorities. And I can give you an example. If you can ask me, Professor, what is driving, you are talking about GDP. Our GDP, I've told you, is 50.2 billion. But where does it come from? This GDP, for your information, comes from services at 43.3. Industry at about 19. Agriculture at 23.4. So agriculture is even less than a quarter to the contribution of GDP. But where are our people employed, most of them? Our people, Ugandans, most of them are employed in the agricultural sector, as you all know. But this is not the sector that is causing development. No. The sector which is causing development is the services sector, banks, telecoms. Everybody here must have sent a WhatsApp message, I'm sure, when you came here. But how many people have bought a banana or a basket of potato from my mother in Kabali? None of you. So if first you put up your hand here, put up your hand if you know your mother is working in MTN or Airtel or Stanbic Bank. Totally you are not there. Totally you. So what am I saying? That the economy, therefore, if you are not careful, can operate upside down. You can have growth which is, let me use the word, which is jobless growth. Jobless growth. And we don't want that. So as accountants, you don't need to look at figures. Let me add you up, let me make another statement here. Apart from green accounting, Professor has also said, number 2, we need to shift, have a paradigm shift from financial statements, management accounts, financial. I know you are very obsessed with management accounts, financial accounting, to value the VFM accounting, value for money accounting. Was this thing done? Or you go to the papers, go to the file, find in the file, 10 boreholes were supposed to dig, money for 10 boreholes is here, the vouchers are here, were posted, captured. So the water, people go to water. Who told you that people go to water? I think we need to have a paradigm shift from the management accounts, financial accounts, to now value for money accounting, where you are physically participating in seeing whether things have been done. For us, that's when we shall be happy. People who are interested in transformation, development and transformation. We have the need for digital transformation. This is a choice, it's not a necessity now. And the adoption of channels for this as accountants enhances your efficiency, reduces manual tasks, improves data accuracy, and provides, of course, real-time insights. Uganda has made significant progress in this process. We have IFMIS in the Ministry of Finance, in the central bank. For us, we are very, very far. We have e-government in procurement, human capital management systems. These have laid a very big foundation to avoid, what are we avoiding? Leakages and also person-to-person interactions to avoid this process. Many countries now just go to Netherlands. You need to move around also and see if you want to compete effectively in these global systems. Move around, and you don't need to move around by institutions which give you money. Invest. These things, we invest in them ourselves. You can take a course, go to Edinburgh on how modeling of words is done. I was there, I think, for 3 weeks, just using family money. If you want to talk to people in 1 minute to understand 100 words, I was there. Modeling of words. It's called syntax modeling. You can go to a course in Nairobi, take a course on how you can model some of these. And we have been able to be efficient integrating our systems and platforms. We have now what we call BBS, Bank of Uganda Banking System Infrastructure. This is integrated with the electronic fund transmission, EFT, RTGS systems. These are in our Directorate of Payments. We are also going to move towards national switch system so that we integrate all our activities in terms of only one stop point and then we can enhance our accounting procedures. What are we trying to do to avoid so many systems having so many people? Those who are saying it is going to cause unemployment, mulimba. That's not true. As you enhance your capabilities, you move. We teach you. Why do we teach you? At 4 levels. For information, we give you information. That bread, when bread is more and you come fewer people, price will go down. If you are more, bread is, if loaves of bread are few, price will go up. In different curve, we will never cross each other, it shifts. That's why this information, but this is not enough. We also need you to build capabilities. We need you to build the third point, strategic fit level. So that if I have a job here, whom I'm going to pick in this room, why should I pick you? You know something a little higher than others. You are not just an accountant, but you are an accountant who also knows how green accounting is done, how natural resource accounting is done, how all these things are done. They're not just a traditional accountant. These are people who have succeeded, and this is how things are done. At the Bank of Uganda, we understand sound monetary policy, and financial system stability alone cannot provide growth and transformation. We need to work hand in hand with public finance management systems. For example, support a number of things, efficient budgeting process, facilitating strategic investment, especially in productive sectors, strengthening fundamentals of our production and distribution systems, fostering investment confidence, ensuring smooth budget execution and performance. When we are budgeting, especially our national budget, we run a cash budget, we don't run a accrual. That's why we have trouble. And when the money is not spent, that's why you have to get the money back to us in consolidated fund. And this process is sometimes not good, especially for projects like road construction and the other projects which are in G, the other G which I showed you. So we may also need, and my mother told me, the things you get are not the ones that are due to you. It is the ones you fight for. My mother bararuganya chenyi ni mara waba chimbiri, waba Professor Kagonyurugwe. Now which should have been a professor, I'm sure, if she was in the class, except she was denied the opportunity. But she told me that you don't get what you are supposed to get, what is due to you. You get what you fight for. So I urge you to continue doing new things which have come on board. Go on television every day, tell us what new things are coming out. You cannot afford to have a budgeting process and you continue keeping quiet as Zikipa. You must capture these spaces and then influence, what do we call them in English language? Some of us studied English from far. Drivers. They are gatekeepers of views. And then the process can be driven. Corruption and mismanagement, of course, is becoming a problem, but that's not something that should waste a lot of our time. The reason why sometimes corruption is there is also that there is the resources are few, the people who are looking for those resources are many, and if, in my view, if we all worked on production, generating resources, we could fight this corruption. I don't want to say that we do not have bad people here who are brought up badly, especially by very poor mothers, and you think that when we give you money for buying children of medicine, you can think about that. For Mulago, you steal that money, and these are accountants. This is a total disaster. Very, very nauseating. Total disaster. We have planned for this. It's money for immunization of children, you steal money. And then you feel very happy that you have built a house. I have my sister who is in the deliverance church with the Dr. Tibarokokas, those who know those powerful people. My sister tells you that your children will have a curse the 4th generation. So if some of you are having those curses in your home and nobody ever gets married, you never get any graduation, exams come, you are the one whose eyes are bringing tears, and so on. We are giving you supplementary, and so on. Then you start saying it is your stepmother. Your stepmother from where? From where? Either your father or your grandfather or your great-grandfather did something bad. So what you are supposed to do? Come to us. Some of us are prayer warriors. Some of us are prayer warriors. We can bind that from you. Come to our church, we bind that from you and move just like others. Don't say, I'm come from that home, nothing ever good comes from our home. For us, our home is like that. Nothing ever good comes. That in economics, we call it is a theory. It's an economic theory. I got it at the London School of Economics. It is Lewis Oscar, and it is 1965. It is culture of poverty thesis, or culture of poverty theory. I don't want anybody here to have culture of poverty thesis, culture of poverty trap. You need to transcend that parochialism, those trivial thinking, and be able to transcend all those cultural barriers. You adopt a culture of winning. You adopt a culture of resistance. And of course, some of us who come from Kigezi, we have a better dose than most of you. I'm not stopping any of you to advertise where you come from. Just advertise where you come from, nobody's stopping you. But for us who come from Kigezi, we had an opportunity of the church coming early, and then the revival coming from Rwanda, from Gahini, it came to Joy Church in Namirembe. Then the boiling point was in my village. Thank God, it is called Rugarama village. And in that village, you clap for that village, then I tell you. That village also has the largest number of professors. Here in Uganda, professors were about 94. And I think our village produces about 25% of those. And the reason is simple, not because we are the most brilliant, but because really, we are fine people. It's not that we are being proud, but it produces fine people. Professor Mondo Kagonyera. You see, Governor Tumusimi Mutibiri, Professor Governor Mutibiri, Professor Kwesiga, the husband is even a professor, Professor Joy, Professor Charles Kwesiga, Professor Kachita. These are fine. Kanuni Johnny Bikangaga, he was our chairman appointments board of Makerere. You would not hear that anybody is not promoted in Makerere. Until Johnny Bikangaga, he was also chairman of the Uganda Public Service Commission, the best chairman you can ever have. And then Kagonyera came. And of course, I don't know whether after you have problems or not. You advertise your people from your area. But for us, the church was very fundamental. And when we hear that somebody is stealing money, can you imagine that somebody is stealing money in Ministry of Health? Money for immunization of children. Is this a real person or is an animal? If we hear that some of us are doing that, then it is only we are just learning from you. We are just learning them from you. We are just learning them from you. If you hear that, we could not have got it from for us, the breast milk we suckled from our mothers was of salvation, was of goodness, was of humanism, was of doing the right thing. I wish everybody got mothers like those. But this idea of you are an accountant, principal accountant, all the money has been stolen, all the books of accounts are clean, yet there is nothing done. When are we going to change from this as a culture shift? We have the issue of digitization. This one I've talked about lastly. And I want you to know that we are transiting from traditional way of doing things to digitizing our systems. And that's why I told you that we need to go to Netherlands. Currently, Netherlands doesn't even have money. You cannot go to Netherlands and you have money that you do. Please, I'm just advising you. I'm just advising you. The entire money is digital. The central bank is digital. You know, in the central bank, we're also working on CBDs. Central bank digital currencies. We are moving to see whether it is, because like at the Bank of Uganda, our highest cost is printing of money. The amount of money we are spending on printing. Why? Because most of you don't even know how to handle money. Even I see you in church because you are not good people, but you want to give money, you have a lot of money in your pocket, you are moving it, you just do like this. You first squeeze the money, then you put it. By the time you do that, when you do that 10 times, then we need to print again that currency. The currency has lost value. And I can't tell you, you need to know the amount of money, the amount of currency we destroy every day. And every destruction we replace. And the replacing you pay. You pay not in shillings, in case some of you think we pay in shillings. You pay in dollars. So if you are good people, you know how to handle yourselves. You are not hiding. You get money from your pocket, give it in the church. But you are a person who grown up in a home of hiding things. Things are never transparent. Nothing is done in the light. As our mothers told us, especially East African revival, everything is hidden for you, everything is in darkness. The Bible says in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 13, everything done in darkness is eventually not even brought to light, but on a mountain. That's International Version. King James, it is brought to light. International Version, on the mountain. So you continue doing these things hidden. One day you will have a bad day and things are going to be brought. Just if you know how to read the Bible, you go there and read it. You continue doing things in the dark, this in the dark, things are going to come in the light. Hebrews 4:13. So I'm going to end by thanking you, President, that I hope you are going to be good people. We can have a turnaround of our lives. And I can call Honoruta here. If you want to get saved and do very good accounting, you can put up your hand and we call Honoruta here. It is not very hard to save me. I'm getting saved today. I want to really do work which Uganda can be proud about. That I'm an accountant in this institution. This institution is the best institution. It is at the forefront from Uganda's development. And we have institutions here, which I don't want to mention, because I work with most of them. But I've worked with most institutions, which we can say are blue ocean institutions. Blue ocean are institutions that are working beyond competition. Institutions which are really good and are meeting their goals. And some of you are coming from those institutions. So I want you to borrow the leaf from those institutions. And one of them, of course, is that they are putting resources to good use. So this is what we want you to do. So I would like to end by just picking a few verses for you. Some of us who grew up in the church. I want to pick, and I'm going to say it here. I want to pick Psalms 37, 1-4. And I want everybody to see me properly. I want everybody to see me properly. The Bible says in Psalms 37, 1, I'm going to read the 4 verses, 1-4, that this is David, is the one who wrote these verses. David is the father to Solomon, the second king of Israel. David is the second king. Saul is the first, David the second, Solomon the third. Then we do not hear anything from after Jeroboam and Rehoboam. You hear northern Israel, which was captured by Assyria. Then you hear the Byzantine, the Romans, then the Ottomans, which destroyed Syria, and you are hearing problems in Jordan, and then Hamas. You are just hearing Hamas. And Israel, which is really having problems from that time. We don't have time for that. That's for another day. But David is telling you that in Psalms 37, 1-4, as I sit down, that do not fret because of evil men. Those who didn't go to good schools, fret is F-R-E-E-T. If you may not have been in a very good school, it means jealous. So do not fret. Not everybody of us, not all of us were in Namagunga and Gayaza and Smag. Some of us were in 470 kilometers from here. But we are here competing effectively. You come here and compete. If you are in Namagunga and Gayaza, why didn't they call you to be the one to talk here? Why did they call you? So God has given us time in equal measure. God has given us the same head, the same hand in equal measure. Whether I'm in Kabale, I will compete with you, I'm telling you. They didn't call you, they called me. I started 417 kilometers from here, and the Bible is saying, do not fret because of evil men. Nor be envious of those who do wrong. For like green grass, they will wither. These one who are just stealing money, they will wither just like green grass by midday. Like morning dew, they will have withered away. And you have been seeing them. You have been seeing them. Trust in the Lord and do good. Those who don't know the Lord, trust in morality and do good. Trust in humanity and do good. Trust in humanism and do good. This is what the country is looking for. The country is not looking for people who do disastrous things. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy the good pasture. This is verse 3. Delight in the Lord, and the Lord will give you the desires of your heart. So those who want to build houses, I don't know. 80 houses, that you want to steal money to build 80 houses. You are cursing your children, 4th generation. Then for you are claiming that you are in a good house over somewhere, I don't know, in Muyenga, or where we are driving a car, we can never reach your home. The home is in urban slum. We can't reach there. You are claiming you are in urban slum and urban favelas, those who move globally, like in Brazil, or in Chibera in Kenya, or in Nigeria. So this is what I wanted to tell you, that God, if you allow me to turn into a pastor in 30 seconds, can curse your children for the work you have done in the 4th generation. Don't let our children be cursed because of your actions. Because you have failed to do what we gave you the work to do. Build bridges for your children. Children are like this bow and an arrow. The moment with the arrow, the moment you squeeze that arrow, the highest, the achievement of your children is proportional to those who did mathematics. It's direct proportional to that bone and the arrow in which the arrow has moved. But if your role was to steal, your role was how do you cannot give what you don't have. This is a very simple English rule. You cannot give what you don't have. What will be the good things in your home, the good things in your children, the good things will come from what you sow. You cannot reap what you didn't sow. Again, this is in 2 Corinthians 6:9. You cannot really reap what you didn't sow. If you reap maize and you want to sow maize and you want to reap beans. Chosiga chokungula. That's what the Baganda tell you. And I don't want to waste your time, President. I want to thank Professor, thank the President, thank your organization. Also, I want to thank these accountants. You can clap for yourselves. I don't want to bring good news here, bad news only. I want to end with a good note that the country is growing. Uganda is growing. And if you were not doing a good job, also some of you, it is not that all of you are bad people. At least there are some who are bad, they are spoiling your name. But I'm sure majority of us are doing a good job. If you are not doing a good job, we wouldn't have had this growth. We are growing at 4.7. We are projecting to grow at 6.3. We were projecting to have a 10-fold growth to change our GDP from 50.2 to 500. The only country which have GDP above 500 is South Africa and Nigeria. And even it defeats Spain and Portugal, some of those Euro countries. So it is not difficult to defeat these Euro countries. And also we have a Premier League here. Why do you want to see Arsenal and the Mane and the Cristiano Ronaldo? We know you need Old Trafford and the Stamford Bridge and so on. We can have a Stamford Bridge, we can have an Old Trafford here. But you cannot have an Old Trafford here and have a Mane here. And I was in Saudi Arabia, I wanted to see Cristiano Ronaldo, I was moving the whole day, I didn't see him. Why? Because these are countries which have done it. Why is the whole professor from Bangkok looking for Cristiano Ronaldo? Surely. But they just also wanted to see him. And they also know that growth in Uganda is driven by services sector. Maybe we want to talk to him and the money, and they tell him exactly how you can have football. Football becomes the driver of growth. I didn't want him because I wanted to push this thing which of a skin, which you can waste time pushing a skin, and I can't do that, I don't have time for that. But as an economist, I wanted to talk to Cristiano Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia. I was in Riyadh to see what they did in Portugal and in Spain, and to receive 2 million visitors in a year. If Uganda, we are receiving 1.4 million visitors, and they receive 10 million visitors to see Messi. Imagine France with the PSG to just see 80 million visitors because we want to see Messi. How many hotels will get business there? So these are things which are not a joke. I don't think that these things are a joke. When you see a good on Arsenal Man U, that football match of Arsenal and Man U is worth 600 million pounds. Just that football alone. Arsenal Man U. And the people you normally see that football have not come from UK. Some from Bordeaux in France, others have come from Geneva because of European Union infrastructure. They come from. Have you ever seen any seat which doesn't have a person? These are people who have done it and they have developed that sector, and the country is good. And this is the message I want to leave with you. Be good people. It is not hard to be a good person. Some of you may think it is hard. Because by being a good person, we shall see what you do. It is not what you tell us. We shall see what you do. And what our professor said as his last comment, try to do good. This is what is your calling. I'm calling for action now. This is your calling. If everybody did good, then you wouldn't be taking your children to Malaysia, to UK. Our children would be here. Our hospitals would be good because all the money now is available. The reason why you are taking them there is not because those are magic countries. Those are countries which had good people. They reached at a level like Malaysia, like with Badewa, like South Korea, General Park, Changi, and her daughter Park Guanhai. They said we want to be good people now, and we must change our country. They did it in 20 years. We can decide that we needed our country. We have done enough. We have been enough, but bad enough. We want to be good people now, and the country moves forward. I thank you, President, for listening to me. I want, therefore, take this opportunity to, on behalf of Bank of Uganda, who is your visitor today, to declare this workshop conference open. And please have good deliberation. To donate you this book. This book is called Transformative Economics, Understanding the Pathway for Those People who have done it. They are all here in this book. They are all here. And the book is 85,000. But if you go to page, just a moment, if you go to page 233, which I told you about, page 233, that's where the gist of accounting is. It is here. This is what the gist of accounting is. Now, instead of those who are doing serious accounting, very, very serious accounting, those who are engaged in very serious accounting with us, the national accounts system globally, if you go to national treasury in US, go to Fed, US, go to our Bank of England, this is what they do. They are saying GDP is equal to Y, which is equal to C plus I plus X minus M plus G. And C is consumption, I is investment, X, big X, those who are in economics classes, the serious ones again, where is exports. No, these are not pretenders. I know that they are just pretenders. I'm doing over 80, over what, over what. If it is economics class, it is economics class. No, not pretending. And then the capital M is imports. So the difference between C and I is domestic absorption. Those who are the serious economics lecturers and their teachers. Then X minus M is the one who call it the trade balance. Our Ugandan one is 6. Currently is negative 6 billion. Because we export things of 12.1 billion. These ladies, I know these beautiful ladies who are here, you give us trouble, cosmetics, what? Then fuel products, 6 million liters of petrol every day. 6 million liters. Then we spend 12, we are on export 6, difference is 6 billion. That is every year. That's the one we call it the trade balance. We have a trade deficit of 6 billion. I've told you the one of America is 587 minus 162. That's the war. These are the things that's going to bring us the third war. Third world war is here. It's just here. And then the last one is G, which is the government expenditure, the express highway, and I want to thank government. I just took about 15 minutes to reach here. We stay in Bukoto. For only 15 minutes I was in Entebbe here. Because of that G, very good G, government expenditure. If we have G in the express highway, then we should be able to, the country should be able to move. And that's why you have countries like UK, China, with the systems of the railway lines, and everybody wants to have business in China. Why? Because you can transport your products very, very quickly. And then I'm saying this equation is a wrong one, that first one. The second, this one is the one which is correct, it is here. And then this is a planet, those who are not looking here. This one here is a planet, this is people, this is profit. So if you're an accountant of people who are doing business and are not minding about what they are doing and what is doing therefore on the resources they are using, those are working against major economic theories, and I don't want to take you to economics class, but we have there the John Harding's theory. John Harding is saying when you are using a resource, take cognizance of others who also are going to come and use that resource. John Harding's theory. Theory of the commons, the theory of the commons, the good of the commons, because this resource is for all of us. So, and I don't want to waste any further time. I want to call the president so that I hand it over this book to, I will autograph it. You decide where you put it yourselves. But I'm going to write there that to Ekipau, recommended for reference as you engage in the transformation of Uganda's accounting profession. That's what I'm going to write there. Reference for as you engage in transforming the accounting profession. So on behalf of my family, this is not on behalf of Bank of Uganda. You people, this is not Bank of Uganda property. On behalf of the family of Professor Augustus Nwagaba, a Muchiga from Kabali, who is a Ugandan. And I'm very grateful to His Excellency the President for recognizing my work and thinking that I can do a contribution to Uganda's growth. I also want to make that statement here. Is that I'm going to give you this book, which I've given you already, for reference as a noble profession to continue with your practice as we all engage in a transformation of Uganda from being a country that is struggling to be highly respected to a country which can be highly respected, and also we attract the highest number of foreign direct investment. That's what will cause our growth, what is going to cause our growth. I'm very happy, President. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Augustus for delivering an inspiring and thought-provoking keynote address. Professor, we are grateful. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience. And I believe that whatever you have put on the floor is going to trickle down in the conversations we are going to have for the next 3 days. At this juncture, Professor Augustus, we would like to, on behalf of the Institute, we have a small token of appreciation for your time, effort, and that passion in putting together what you've shared with us. Professor, this is below the value, below the threshold for declaration. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, members. Here ends my role. I would like now to hand over to the day manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Aurora. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to these two professors. When I talked about Professor Aurora, I saved something for last. Professor Augustus, you think you came from far? 400 kilometers only. 400 kilometers, and you think you came from far. The professor here came from the tip in West Nile, bordering Sudan. And she was the first woman, I don't believe in these female things. She was the first woman to get a PhD in MOOCs. She was the first woman to become a full professor in MOOCs. So those of you who are seated there, don't envy us who are next to super brains. I think breathing the same air with these people makes me also seem a bit clever. Now, as I do this final round, I want to invite the people on the podium, the 8th president, council members past and present who are here, and new committee members who are serving for the first time. Please come here and we should have a photo moment. People on the podium, 8th president, council members past and present, new committee members, and the veteran super committee member who refused to go to council, Muhaise. Please come here. You know, these things of being invited and you don't move, these are the things which the professor has been talking about. Things which keep us behind. Please move. Now, I want also to advise us who are here, who are online, that most of the information you need about this conference is contained in the event magazine. I've been seeing people asking me questions about things which are already available with them. Now, as Professor Augustus said, we need to be good people in order for our country to go forward. But I'm a good person, but I see some people there who cannot claim. Because Professor said, if you want to show that you are good, come to the podium. I'm the only one who came. Now, what does that say about you people? And I want to correct my president, CPA Ronald Mutumba. You said this thing, I need it, the NIRA thing, because of the things. I want to assure you that the gombolola in my area is still functional, and I did return all equipment to the gombola for safekeeping. Therefore, it's not for me, it's for you people. Banange, Nira is here. Make use of it. I know somebody here who has been an aspiring Salongo for so many years. Now it is your time. I also say aspiring Narongo. Please take use of the NIRA services. I won't do any more housekeeping issues, apart from telling you there is a health unit somewhere there for free services. And then invite you at my cost. You can go and have tea. I've paid, I will pay. Eat whatever is there, I've already paid. So don't refrain yourselves from, and come back online, come back in your seat at exactly 11. To be sure that you are returning to the same seat, please leave your phone on the seat so that you can identify the seat when you come back. See you at 11, ladies and gentlemen.